I'm Old Sneelock. Welcome to another episode of Old Sneelock's Workshop. Today we're going to talk about tools. This is going to be an ongoing series, so expect to see these about once a week. These are my Black & Decker tools. Some of these I've had a long time, some of them not so long. This one is a replacement for what I had when I was, I was 16 when I got the Harley. I bought it because I needed to grind off pieces on the castings for the Harley Davidson. I wanted to make a chopper. And the reason I wanted to make a chopper is because the bike that I had was missing pieces. And the pieces it was missing were pretty vital stuff, you know, like foot pegs and pedals and linkages and stuff like that. So I decided I was going to make a chopper out of it. And what I did is I took and stripped the frame completely down to bare metal and ground off all the extra little bits and pieces that Harley welded on or brazed onto the frame. This, like I said, is a replacement for that tool because I had the original grinder, sander grinder, from 1966 until about 1998, when my dad used it and burned it up because he was aggressively attacking something with a dead sanding disc and trying to push too hard to make it work. Dad was cool, did a lot of nice things. Taking care of my tools, not so much. So anyways, that's a replacement for it. This is a polisher, which means it goes a little faster than what the sander and a lot faster than what the grinder did. But it does a good job. I put a sanding disc on it, I can clean things up pretty quickly. And it came from a flea market, so I forget exactly how much it was. It was somewhere under the $10 range because that's the limit I usually set for myself. This I bought brand new. This is a Black & Decker half-inch drill motor, and it matches exactly the one my dad had at the time because the one Dad had was a horse. We used it to drill holes in everything. Great little piece of equipment, plenty of power, and I had this one from the time I was, about the same time I bought the grinder. So the original grinder cost me, I don't know, new would have been $30. This would have been about the same. And I use them a lot. Now this circular saw is a less expensive brand because at the time we had purchased a house in Quincy, and the house wasn't finished. It was a tri-level, only had 2 floors done. The basement was yet to be finished. It was enclosed and airtight, but it didn't have any drywall. It had the laundry room down there, so it had the furnace and the hot water heater, but no finish work, no woodworking at all. So Lydia went out and bought me that Black & Decker saw because I had been borrowing Dad's, and it's been a great saw. That would have been 1978 when we moved into the house in Quincy. So 1978 till today, 22 years, and then we add another 15 onto that, 30, 22, 35, 37 years. I've had that saw 37 years. Got it in 1978, had it till today, still works great. Has a new cord on it because my dog ate the cord, ate it lock, stock, and barrel, swallowed the whole thing. Homer was a great dog. He was in the garage by himself, didn't have enough to keep him occupied, so he decided he was going to chew the cord off my saw. It was the only thing hanging down far enough for him to reach. Very unhappy. I was worried that my dog was going to get sick, but I was also very unhappy that my saw was ruined. As I go through the stuff, I'm finding more Black & Decker tools. This This drill motor I haven't tried using. It's been buried actually. I haven't even seen it probably for 3 years. And the trigger sticks, so before I ever did use it, I would have to have some repair work done to it. It's also leaking oil out of the crankcase, so I'm thinking I got some major repairs to do to this before I even see it as being useful. But it is neat because it is old. It's a Black & Decker utility 1/4 inch electric drill. Catalog number HU-1. AC/DC. How many times do you see AC/DC on a tool these days? And it's got the US patent number registered. 115 volts, 1.3 amps, 2250 RPMs. Made in the United States of America, the Black & Decker Manufacturing Company, Towson, Maryland, USA. This would be a good project for a video. Take this apart, clean it. Replace the cord, because the cord is shot. Most of the time, once they've been coiled up for a few years, the cord starts cracking. But I will put this on the list of things to be fixed, because now it has caught my interest. This is a Black & Decker pad sander. Quarter sheet sander, works very well. Inexpensive, like all Black & Decker things are. This one I inherited from my mother. Mom, unlike Dad, always took care of her tools. So it came to me in the box. And I keep it that way just so that it will remain in good condition. So that's the Black & Decker tools that I have. I'll work my way through over the coming weeks and try and show you videos of most of the tools that I have. A lot of this stuff is over there on the shelf behind the furnace and kind of out of the way. So I'm going to be bringing it over here and setting it up on the bench, and I'll show you as I go along. This is one of my older and more interesting Black & Decker drill motors. It has some unusual features about it. One, despite its massive size, this is a 1/2 inch drill motor. It's a Black & Decker. It's marked 110 volts DC. Draws 4 amps, 475 RPMs, serial number BB4035, patented November 6th, 1917. It's a special 1/2 inch electric drill, made by the Black & Decker Manufacturing Company, Baltimore, Maryland, USA, which it shows on this badge emblazoned on the plate. The nameplate is held on with screws. This isn't a production item. This is something very unique. (1917). That's early on in the days of portable hand tools. It has a Jacobs 6A chuck on it, 1/2 inch capacity, made in Hartford, Connecticut. I think the most unique thing about it is the trigger. When you pull the trigger, it starts and keeps running until you pull the trigger again. I've never seen that in an electric drill before. The dial points to the position of the switch. So when it points towards off, it stops. When it points towards on, it keeps running. Has a lot of power and a lot of torque. It's a huge amount of material in there spinning, and a good sized gear train. So once it starts rolling, it takes a bit to stop it. Now I'm not sure why the drill hesitates when you switch it to on, but that's only when it's pointing towards the lower position. So it could be an issue inside the switch. I haven't taken the switch apart to find out. I don't use this drill. It's a neat old drill. I think it came with the idea that it would be used in a drill press of some kind, because having a switch that just locks on means that even if you let go of the trigger, it's going to keep turning, and I've had a bad experience with that. This is one of the last Black & Decker tools that I'm going to talk about. There may be others in the piles here that I might run across over time, and when I do, we'll bring those up in a future video. But this is my Black & Decker battery operated screwdriver. I bought this when we were putting together the new bathroom in Union City. I wanted to install a bathroom on the second floor. We converted one of the bedrooms into a bathroom boudoir. It had a jacuzzi tub, a toilet, and a sink. To make the jacuzzi tub work in the structure of the building, I needed to bridge the floor to help support the load. So I put in a 2x6 deck and built a platform on top of it and put the plumbing and bathtub on that framework to support the load of the bathtub, and also to give me room to put the drainage pipes in. Because I had developed carpal tunnel in my right hand from driving big nails putting together my deck over in Quincy, I decided to go with screws. And it was just when the start of the big plasterboard screw, blackened, oxide coated wood screws came about. So I was driving a lot of screws, and I was using my 1/2-inch Black & Decker drill motor, which was rather large and hard to get into some of the places to drive the screws. Came across this at one of the stores that I was at and bought it with the idea that I would try it. Well, I loved the thing. It worked really, really good. Over the years, the battery eventually died and stopped working. This unit is on the to be fixed bench. I'm going to replace the batteries. I want to put this back together again, not just because it's a cool old tool, but because I really like it. I think it's a good design. Works well. Plenty of power, forward and reverse, and it locks so that you can use it in manual. Put all kinds of bits in it. Handy thing to have around. Now that you've seen all the Black & Decker tools that I have, if you have any questions or you'd like to make a suggestion for a video in the future, please drop a note in the comments below. You know I read them all. Thanks for watching. This is a Miller Falls 1/2-inch drill motor. It's a Dynamite catalog number 912 Model D 1/2-inch drill, 115 volts, 4.9 amps, 450 RPM.